Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Wednesday and another episode of Ken vs. 10. If you didn't guess and you're new here, I'm the Ken part of the show. So you've got that going for you right now to check me out. Oh, it is Wednesday, middle of the week, hump day, as they say. I was just talking with a group of friends the other day about Thursday, and like Thursday's got nothing. Did I talk about that last week? Mondays, like, yeah, people hate Mondays and it's got that. And Tuesdays, like Taco Tuesday. I mean, come on, they got that wrapped up. I think I talked about that. Wednesdays, hump day, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Saturday, it stands on its own. And, Sunday, the Lord's Day, take a break from things. And, but Thursday, got nothing. I make a pitch. It was suggested Thrifty Thursdays. Thrifty Thursdays. If you're a reseller and you're out there, Thrifty Thursday, that's a good day. Yard sales in my area at least start on Thursday. I'm still waiting for yard sales to start around here. There may have been some, but I haven't really looked to go out. I might do that tonight. Do some research, maybe get out to some yard sales tomorrow. Jack's Treasures. Brian, Mr. Jack's here. Good afternoon to you, my friend. We need to chat later this afternoon. Give me a call or I'll call you. Susan is here. What is up, Susan? Good afternoon. Hopefully the kids are treating you well today. And yes, Throwback Thursday used to be a thing. I don't know if that's still, we could revive that. We just get this whole community thing going. Shout out to Thursday. That's what I say. And there's Mark is here. Mark Turner Productions. What is up, Mark? Hopefully you are having a good day as well. If you saw from the thumbnail, if you clicked in from the thumbnail, running at half speed is a whole multitude of things that's got me running at half speed. Mostly that I have been fighting a cold for almost a good week now. I think I'm kind of passing it, but just you could probably hear it, my voice just sniffly and coffee and lots of like congestion, like breaking up. Everything's breaking up in my chest. And what is up, Chad? Quirky Pick Chad, hey. And so that's, for the week, that's kind of had me just like, bleh. You feel, there was a one day where it was just, I'm taking a nap all day. I would take a nap to get ready to take a nap, and go to bed early and just, yes, definitely. Well, I have there's about 16 days or something until the Nashville meetup. My little display right there, Nashville meetup, April 25th through the 27th, where all of the best resellers from all over the country are going to converge in one spot. Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to Ray, the Nashville Flipper, who has been working tirelessly on this event. And there is some very cool, fun stuff. Go check out the Nashville Meetup page on Facebook and see all of the you're not one of the best resellers, Chad. You are not heading down to Nashville. I didn't say all of the best. I said, did I say all of the best? Most. A lot of really good resellers, from lots of folks that you see on the YouTube channels that are going to be there, and a very good contingent of people that are Whatnot sellers. I've been selling on Whatnot, and Yeah. Oh, I see Brian's at almost a Whatnot convention. Yeah, so many people that are from that platform that are not um that you're not seeing on like YouTube videos and stuff like that. Some of them do Whatnot, they do eBay, they do YouTube, they do all of it. So I am like I'm super excited to see my friends when I go there to see um to meet a bunch of people that I have not met in person, shake their hand, give them a big old hug, where it's appropriate. Where it's appropriate, I'm not going to give unsolicited hugs. Uh, uh, just won't work out for you. There is Corey over at Grams of Pops. I'm with you, Chad. Not a great reseller, and also not going to be in Nashville. No, you are a great reseller, Corey. Um, if you guys, if you want to see more of Corey and you like reselling, like talking about reselling, seeing what resellers are doing, there's a new channel called Resell Therapy. I think, is it Resale Therapy or is it Reseller Therapy? Corey can chime in on that. But Corey's on there. The guys from over at Buck Mountain Barn are on there. I saw Leroy, Blood, Sweat, and Cell was on there. Reseller Therapy. I should have links for this stuff. I just don't prepare properly for this show. Let's see. Reseller Therapy. But they're on Tuesdays. Well, I don't want to start the show. I want to see the channel. There it is. There's a link in there for reseller. Go over and follow those guys. They're going to do this like every Tuesday at it's 1:30 Eastern time, 12:30 Central, and they're just going to have people on. They're listing, they're working, they're cleaning, they're shipping, they're doing whatever they're doing to keep their reselling businesses going. It's just a fun chat. The chat itself that people are chiming in is good, and then who's ever on the show. And I think I don't want to overstep, but I think they throw out a link, and you might be able to come on there and just list with them as well. So go check out Reseller Therapy. And people were saying, what is up? Lag is here. Joe, I'd flip that is here. What is up, Joe? Joe was in the show last week, got in trouble with his podcast cohorts for hanging out with me. Yeah, anyone is welcome to pop in over there. And just if you're listening, if you want to talk about your sales and your week and your how things are going, just hang out for what, an hour or two or however long they're on. But I did see Susan in here. We got to start the show this way. Susan, what are you having for lunch? What's Susan having for lunch today on a Wednesday, middle of the month of April? Man, that's hard. That's hard to yeah, Joe don't get in trouble. He's the money man over there. He's not getting in trouble. So yeah, speaking of Matt, my foot hurt. My foot hurts. My foot hurts from doing my taxes. Now, there's Jill. Hello, Jill. Do that right there for my Jill. My foot hurts from wait, before I get into that story. Today I am having Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, scrambled egg, sausage, cheese, and potatoes. Oh, breakfast food sounds good. That's a good hearty breakfast. Shout out to Jimmy Dean and all the work they're putting in over there to make at least Susan's breakfast. Well, I guess it's lunch at this point. Breakfast for lunch. So hi, Jill, mate. So anyway, Yeah, normally America's favorite talk show. There's Brendan Big Time Flips back for another episode. I wish it were America's favorite talk show. I think that it is. I'm not sure why there's like not, I mean, literally thousands, tens of thousands of people in the chat each week. But I enjoy hanging out with my friends here and just talking. It's always that one-sided conversation because I'm the one that's talking the whole time. Maybe I should bring a guest on. Maybe I should actually list stuff like the 10 part of the show. Maybe I should just call it Ken versus Ken. Ken talks about Ken for a week. Okay, Susan. Except for Cocoa Wheats. Give me a break. We weren't related. I would kick you out of the show, and that would be it. We would no longer have the segment. Maybe I have to think about the what's Susan having for lunch segment next week. The old tablet died, now on a new one. Yeah. Raz is here. Hopefully you got that new tablet before the price of absolutely everything skyrockets. Totals are going up everywhere except in my retirement account, but we're not going to talk politics. We're not going to talk any of that. Ken versus Mr. Bill versus the DOG. Yes, I'll just bring on all my multiple personalities and do the show. But anyway, normally I'm going to try not to cough through all of the show. I keep drinking here. Excuse me. Normally my ass hurts after I do my taxes, but it's my foot. And I'll tell you why. Because when I sit in a computer chair or in my chair at the computer, the way that I have my feet under the chair, I kind of have my legs back under my chair. And so my one foot, my left foot, gets all crooked to the side, right? While I'm sitting here. And it like strains my foot. Like I must be like a muscle in the bottom of my foot. And then I get like a big knot in like right about in the middle of my foot, right in front of my heel. Can I explain how tariffs work? I could explain how they're supposed to work. Um, I think when you apply tariffs to other countries, you should definitely expect that that's going to happen back to you. So out of that's where you got your laptop out of the yeah, we're not going to go down that road. We're not going to go down that road. Because I kicked that. No, it doesn't hurt because I kicked ass last year. Actually, last year was a little bit more of a down year than the previous year. And I had done some things in some different situations with retirement fund and stuff that, but so my foot's all crooked to the side, and then it gets like this big knot in it, and then it's just like painful for like the next week. So hey, if you don't have your taxes done, you only got like you have less than a week to get them done. I got everything was submitted and actually has been paid out, and monies that I did get back has been given back. And but I still owe the great city of Marion their taxes, and so I usually wait for that. So probably Monday I'll actually run up to the tax office and write them their check for their portion of my income to live in this great city. My city's not a bad city. It's small. They do their best. They're trying to revitalize the downtown to get, more businesses, more restaurants, something to draw people downtown. just our problem. I think our problem mostly is parking. There's not a lot of places to park um, when you're downtown, and so I've been running my thumbnail about running half speed. I, I've had this cold I've been fighting, and then my foot hurt after doing my taxes. So it's just like sometimes it's like painful just to get up and walk around. And then when you're listing stuff and then you're working, I do a lot of stuff from my computer, so I'm sitting here in this chair, and then I keep trying to be conscious of how I'm keeping my feet so that, or I even like bend it back. I go like this and I bend it back the other way, so maybe it'll stretch that muscle in the other direction. Um, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, Brian. Uh, Jill has to go sign her taxes on Friday with no extension. Her tax accountant was threatening, if you don't get us this information, we're going to have to file an extension, and that's just going to cost you more. But Jill, I think she got her taxes done this year without crying. At least I don't think she cried. And it's usually not from the money expenditure. It's usually just the frustration of having to get all those numbers together. But my taxes are done except for that one payment. And so, again, you got a week if you haven't done them. And Raz has some new parodies out there, with a nutty response to a channel's host, double entendre flub. Go check out Razilla's Realm over there as well on YouTube, and see all these songs and these creative stuff that they're putting out over there. Very fun, very fun. Yeah, Jill did not cry this year. Shouldn't have to cry when you do your taxes. Although, sometimes you look at your bank account and you're like, oh no, it's tax time. What's going to happen right before you're going to go to a meetup, or right before you're going to go do something, you got all that money's come out. I try to plan for it. And I know that those monies are going to come out, and, in my regular financial thing, I set money aside out of my sales and stuff, so that when I get to this time of year, but it always hurts. It always hurts. Brian does more yelling than crying. Yeah, it's I do a pretty decent job of keeping my records together. There's always that last thing at the end where you have to compile everything, figure up mileages, figure up cost of goods when you get to the end of the year. I kind of do that at the end of the year with stuff. I'm not good at like keeping the records month by month. But I do keep everything organized, so when I get to that time, I'm able to do it. I know, right, bro? I love raviolis. It's a staple in my cupboard. I don't talk about raviolis enough on this show because there's always Kraft macaroni and cheese to talk about. But who's doing it better than the chef? Chef Boyardee. I would assume, Brendan, that that's what you're looking for when you're out there at the store, the Chef Boyardee raviolis. Yes, when Jill and she lost her W-2. It's almost like the scissor incident. You don't know that story. I have to tell that sometime, but Jill can get a little bit upset, little bit from time to time. Yeah, all right. No one's doing it better than Chef Boyardee. Thank you, Brian. Or Brian, shit. Brendan. You know. Jill, yes. Jill loses things. Hey, I think I can verify now. If I had a superpower, my superpower is finding things. I can find things that I didn't even lose. Jill will call me and she was like, "Oh, I can't find such and such." And I was like, "Okay, let's," she's frustrated. Let's find this. Let's backtrack. Let's find, and I'm finding all kinds of stuff at her house when I haven't been there for like ever. And she just had it like 2 minutes ago. But I can verify that with somebody in the chat. I was talking with Brian the other day, Jack's Treasures, and he had lost his keys. And he was getting a bit, we'll say Jillish. He was getting a bit Jillish, ranting and raving in the background. I'm having to talk to Tracy on the phone so that Brian can just go ballistic in the background. Like, okay, calm down, my friend, calm down. We got this. We got this. And what was it, Brian? Less than 5 minutes. I had found his keys at his house in Atlanta, Georgia, when I'm here in Ohio. Never been to his house. I was able to find his keys for him. And he could get on his day and go to dinner. So if you guys lose anything, feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out. Hit me up on the Instagram if we need to have a one-on-one conversation. We'll exchange phone numbers. I'll get you what you need to know, and I'll help you find that item that you've lost. Yeah, everybody. I've always said that everybody needs a Ken. Everybody needs a Ken in their life. Oh, here is something. Don't you love getting an unexpected package? Like, this showed up for me, and I'm like, what did I get? And I look at it, and it's actually from Brian, Jack's Treasure. Is this whole show going to be about Brian? I don't know. But it's like I didn't order anything. I wasn't expecting anything to come. But look, I got some thumbtacks. Because somebody in the Whatnot show, not somebody, Flippin' Mimi, shout out to Flippin' Mimi, had sent me randomly sent a gift out of Whatnot. Well, if you're over there, you can send gifts to people within the chat. And look, I got some fun, colorful thumbtacks right there from Flippin' Mimi, and it was neat to all of a sudden, ooh, a package. I love to open packages. It's like Christmas. You should have gift wrapped these though, Brian, because it was like a Christmas gift for me. So it should have been wrapped, not boxed. Any ideas where you left your sanity? Now, even Superman has kryptonite, right? That might be a difficult task to help Corey locate his sanity. Recall none of this. I've lost 89 keys over the last 22 years. Man, that's going way back. I could probably, if you're still in the same location, I could probably find most of them. I'm gonna set the bar at 60. I think I could find at least 60 of those 89 keys. Just, fluctuation of years and time, and I think I could do it. Yes, Kenny finds stuff rather than Kenny gets stuff done. So last week I talked about, I changed my name because I was tired of being me. I'm tired of being me and not getting stuff done. And so I thought I'm just going to be a whole new person. I'm just going to regular Ken. He's just going to be his same self, not getting stuff done and letting himself get in his own way. But can he get stuff done? He goes to bed early and he wakes up refreshed, ready for the day, and he lists things and he gets organized and he prioritizes stuff. And so this week running half speed, half the time I was just Ken SSK promo, Mr. Bill, El Luchador, and the other half was, can he get stuff done? Had some decent sales over this last week on eBay. I actually I have all my shipping ready for today, but then right before the show, I had another sale here that I have to get packaged up before I go out to the post office. And you only found 2 of the keys. Well, 2, that puts me down to 58. 58 keys I have to find over at Raz's place. Christmas bag next time, guys. Oh, I don't think that muted. I'm sorry. I was trying not to cough in your face. Glenn is here. What is up, Glenn? The Swamp Picker hanging out with us here. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, I had a good week of sales because I was listing stuff. I had one sale. I showed it here just a couple weeks ago. I had this Harley Davidson, like a leather duffel bag. And I had it listed at 125, a little bit on the high side. It was probably $90 bag, we'll say. 90 to 100. So I had a person, and I had sent some offers out, and I had actually sent out an offer at $98 on this bag. And the buyer messaged me, somebody that had got the offer, because it was just, send out offers on people that are watching. And they reached out and said, I was getting ready to purchase this, but it shows that the shipping is going to be $50. That was a good size package, and the bag weighed quite a bit. It was, I don't know, like a 7-pound package. But I was like, and they sent me like a screenshot of that it said 50. Well, I went through my my shipping stuff, and the best that I could see, it should be, depending on the service, they had given me their zip code. And again, this is customer service, folks. This is customer service 101. If somebody message you about something, especially when they're getting ready to buy something, stay in contact with them. Help them out best you can. So I go and I look at the shipping stuff. I use the eBay shipping calculator. I use other stuff. And the most that it should have been is between, like, say, $19 and $22, depending on if they chose a ground advantage, a priority mail, or a UPS ground. It was all within that one range. And I'm like, I'm not really sure, but here's what I can do to help. And I gave them a couple of options. They can just, because now if you have an offer out on something, eBay will not let you change certain parameters. You can't change the price. You can't change some of the shipping information. That way you're not punking a buyer with sending an offer and then jacking up the shipping or something like that. So I couldn't make changes. So I gave them the option that they could just decline the offer, and I would go in then once eBay released that order for me to make changes to. And I would put the price at the $98, and I would just do a fixed shipping charge at what it would be, because there was no explanation why it was $50. And then I also gave them the other option that I will just take down the listing, just end it and relist it so that I am able to put whatever changes that I want to. But I wanted to hear from them first to see what they wanted to do, because I didn't really want to just end the listing and put it at the lower price when it could still be up at the $125. So what happened? Oh, so we were having this conversation, right? They sent me, why is it $50? Let me check into it. They send me a screenshot. I send them back this. They send me back this. I say, here's a couple of options. And nothing. Ghosted. Ghosted. Nobody's talking. No, I don't hear anything back from them. So they're, well, I'll give it till the next day, and then I'll reach it back out to them. Well, the next morning, somebody else, another buyer came in and sent me an offer at $100. My other offer that I had sent out was at 98. They sent me an offer at $100, and it's like, boop, sold. Thank you. I will take your $100. And the shipping did to that person. They were a little bit closer than the previous buyer, and I think it was $17, 17, $18 to ship it to them. So there you go. That's my Harley Davidson duffel bag story. But that was a nice sale. $100 sale on an item that I had picked up at a yard sale for around like $5. They wanted $10 for it, and I remember making them an offer or making a bundle deal. I had bought some other items at that sale and kind of did a bundle. So depending on how you figure your pricing on your bundle deals, the most I would have had in it was $10, but $10 into $100, all day long in this business. But I figured, and the other items that I had bought at that sale, they had sold long ago at really good profit. And so you could really probably say at that point that bag was free to me. But so that was one situation. I still can't figure out, I still don't know why the shipping showed at $50. I had even talked to Corey about it. I was like, hey, have you ever seen this situation? And what comes up? And he's like, yeah. And there doesn't seem to be an explanation for why that shipping went so awry on eBay's end to the customer, which then made me start to think, oh man, how many other customers are seeing this way out, too high shipping. I use what are they called when you what is that called when you set up your own shipping business policies? I use shipping business policies. I pulled the screen up over here for all of my stuff because it makes it easy to make changes, to make global changes if there are shipping changes in the rates because of the way that I do my shipping. Most things that are over 1 pound, I do calculated shipping, but I also give a discount of that calculated shipping. So the customer saves and I don't kind of get caught with some unforeseen thing. There's a little bit of extra money there. I'm not making money off of the shipping when it's the calculated, but it does help giving that discount. And then anything under 1 pound, I do as a flat rate based on what the rates are. And I've tried different scenarios and stuff, and that's what seems to work for me. And every now and then I will go in and I'll change up a few things and see if that helps spark some sales, or if it kills sales. And then I'll just go back to, if it kills sales and it's not working out right, I can always go back to the previous policies. But if the sales spike, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this, Ken? Ken, why didn't you do this a long time ago? So anyway, that's what I've been doing. And then my internet. Okay, so the cable company, I have my internet through. If you saw the thumbnail for the show, there was a picture in the corner of the Spectrum cable guy, like getting off the ladder up at the side of my house. They were actually out this morning. I was wondering if I was going to do the show. I posted everything late this morning, like my my thumbnail for the show. I didn't get the show actually scheduled in time because I didn't do it less. Sometimes I do it late before I go to bed the night before, and sometimes I do it first thing in the morning. But I knew that I had the Spectrum was coming out, and then they had my internet down. So it's like, oh man, if they don't get done, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the show or not. Which they got it done, because they were out because they had detected noise in my line, or they had been going down the street because there was some noise in there in the whole branch of the line, and they determined that it was coming from my house, and that there was some sort of electrical ground or electrical short or something that was feeding an electrical signal back through the coax line. And so they unhooked me. This has been like about a week and a half or so ago. They unhooked my cable, and I had to have an electrician come out. So there was an expense to have an electrician come out and track down why there was an electrical current bleeding back through my coax line, where there was a cross, and we kind of determined what that was. But the cable guy or the electrician had went ahead and just hooked my cable back up. It was just screwing it back into the little jumper thing. But he didn't secure the cover on the box. So we had big storms like all through last week, and some storms that we had like Sunday or Monday or whatever. The cover blew off of the box, and it was no place. It's somebody in my neighborhood has the cover to a an internet or a cable box. I had looked around in some of the neighboring yards and asked a couple neighbors, "Hey, did you see anything like this?" So so he comes out this morning, checks the line, everything is good, but he puts a new box, right? Rather than just getting a new lid and putting it on the box, he puts a whole new box on it, and which that's okay. I don't really care. But where my cable box is, it's way up high on the house. And where he was putting the new box, apparently because it was a little bit different size and thicker, he couldn't put it back in the same spot. So he moved it over a little bit. Again, no big deal. Keep hydrated. No big deal that he moves it over. The only thing is, a couple of years ago, that's been more than 3 years ago, I had repainted my house. I don't have like vinyl siding or aluminum siding or anything like that. It's just painted house. All the family came over. We painted everything. Yeah, it is always money. Electrical work, $150 worth. $150 to have a guy come out and track some things down. But the guy went over. Well, technically it was $125. It's $125, and I gave him an extra $25 because when I called him, he came out like he was there within an hour. He went way above and beyond. Got up in my attic, switched some lines, did lots of testing. He tested different devices to see where he could find. So way above and beyond. And so I gave him a little extra. Because I'm generous like that. I should change my name to Kenny Generous. Kenny gets stuff done. Anyway, all of that to say, he moved the box, right? I painted my house a couple years ago. So now, way up high on the side of my house, I have this bare spot that's just primer gray, because we had scraped it and primered the whole house. So now, except behind the box, obviously. So now up high on my house, I've got this, there you go. I'm generous. I'm a very generous guy. I have this unpainted square. It's not even a square. It's like this goofy shape up high on the side of my house. Susan, have a good afternoon. Have a quick afternoon. And thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully, your breakfast for lunch food was great. And we will see you soon. So now, if this weather would ever, that's why I have the cold, because it's 70 degrees one day, and then the next day it's like below freezing, and then it's 60, and then it's 40, and then or it's 68 during the day and 27 at night, and that's a couple times a year I get a cold. Overall, I'm pretty healthy most all the year. But my body knows when the changing of the seasons, that winter to spring and that kind of fall to winter where the temperatures just go berserk every day. And that's why I've got this cold, which means spring is around the corner. We hope. Hang a birdhouse there. Yes. If you saw the spot and somebody drove by there, we'd be like, what the hell has he got a birdhouse right there for? So I do have extra paint left over from the house painting. So when it does get a little bit warmer out, or we're going to have some consistently warm days where it's not like 80-mile-per-hour winds, it just seems like the wind never stops blowing here recently. And I'll have to get the big ladder out. And take a brush up there and touch up that spot. What is up, Carolyn? Carolyn KK Lewis is here. Good to see you, my friend. So what else do it? Oh, so Brian had said something earlier about killing it. Last night we did a Whatnot show. We were in this bracket challenge for how fast you could sell stuff. To sell, you had 10 minutes. It's just a quick 10-minute show. How many items can you sell in 10 minutes? And it was an interesting challenge. Some of the people that were putting up big numbers, and I had a couple of goals. Was number one, to represent myself well. I was honored to be asked. Shout out to Derek over at Fundamentals, Derek, and then also Blasian Bunny that invited us to the show to participate. And an interesting challenge. And in the end, here's Roman. It's so cold and merry today that Ken decided he will dress up as Santa tonight and go knocking on doors and giving presents to everyone. What is up, Roman? And they'll be wrapped. Those presents will be wrapped that I hand out, because Christmas gift has to be wrapped. What was I talking about? Oh, so in the end, we ended up selling. We sold 26 items. We sold 26 items in the 10-minute period, for a decent amount of money. Now, one of my other goals was to just sell. I wanted to sell one more than Brian. Could we have these friendly things that go back and forth? And but Brian really bested me. He sold 49 items in 10 minutes. I think the overall person sold like 124 items, but that was just like, going through so fast. And yeah, friendly. We have friendly. Yeah, Brian has decided he will start doing videos without Tracy. So you don't want to see the hammer again. You want to know what that's about? Go check out Jack's Treasures. See what they're doing over there at Jack's Treasures with their new podcast. What? Not another reselling podcast. They're doing that. That's coming out every week on Sunday at, who knows? Sunday at some time. Brian's still trying to figure out time, just straight time. Can't seem to figure out that you could look at a watch, you could get on your phone. There's clocks everywhere. So Sunday, sometime. But if you go over there to their show and you click on that notification bell where you just get notified, and when it shows up, you watch it. That's how it works. That's how it works. So yeah, and don't forget to hit the like button on this show and every show that you watch. What was I talking about? Okay, so we sold our items, 26 items. We weren't the fastest sellers. It was different. It was different having to try to sell that fast. Jill and I had talked over strategies, how we wanted to do stuff before. I set it up how I thought that it was going to be the best, but the interface running from the computer, like you sell something and then the list jumps, it was hard to get to the next item quick. But I'm very pleased with what we did. Because in the end, with the amount of sales that we did, and if you take the sales and you take the fees out for the sales and you take some buy costs out, if you look at it from if you had an hourly job, so it was only a 10-minute sale, right? So in the end, we made about $100 in 10 minutes. That's a $600 an hour job. I don't know many people that are making $600 an hour. And so I was very pleased with what we did, with the items that we sold, with the price that we got it with them. And in the end, of the buyers that we had 8 first-time buyers in that show. It was very well represented. Very good crowds were in there. And then if you take into it, everybody that was in the competition was not allowed to bid. And I don't know how many was that, 120, 130 people were in that particular show. Might have been more. I don't know, but I remember seeing that number at one time. And if you take out the 30 some people off of that weren't allowed to bid because they were in the competition, and you break all those numbers down, to have that many new buyers, 30 plus % of the buyers that were in the show got lots of new followers. They I think it was a super successful show. If from the outside looking in and you see all of the numbers, people are selling 100. Jen's multiverse absolutely killed it. 100 items in 10 minutes. There were numbers that looked more impressive than ours, but I can only do me. Jill and I together can only do our show the best way that we can do it. I am not disappointed one bit. If you look down the list of how many, we weren't the lowest on the list, but we were in the bottom percentile. Yes, I'm going to hand out the headshots in Nashville to every bar owner to put up on the wall, and then people will be like, man, who's this handsome fella? I got to get all that stuff done. Angie, perfectly blessed. What is up? Like 16 days, Angie. 16 days I'll be seeing you. And I was starting to say this earlier, but I wanted to make sure that she was in here. Super shout out to Mary McQueen, and here's why. Mary McQueen herself, along with Mike Camparelli over at Mike Metco Meetups, such supporters of the community, not just all of the meetups, but just the community and stuff. And the thing that was very cool is, every week I do this show and I have it scheduled and I have a thumbnail and I do an Instagram post, and that's an every week thing. And over there at Mike Metco Meetups, they'll post people that are having shows, they'll post people that are having meetups, they'll post, different stuff like that. And they've been so gracious and supportive of me to, when I'm doing this show, to post something up. And Mary is the one that takes care of that kind of social media side. And so when she didn't see that I had a show scheduled this morning, or she didn't see that I had maybe an Instagram post, she reached out and she said, "Hey, everything okay? Is all good? I didn't see a post. That's, uh, that's odd. Is are you going to have the show? I was going to post something about it." And I explained to her that about the internet this morning that we talked about earlier, and not being able to know that they were going to have it all back up before I had to do the show. So I hadn't posted anything. But that's what community is. That's what, not just community, but that's what friends are. And I encourage that myself. If you watch somebody, you watch somebody's content, and you see people's Instagram posts or TikToks or Facebook posts, and then you don't see them. If something is out of the norm, um, reach out. Reach out and just say, "Hey, is everything good? How you doing?" Um, with the family, with themselves, with every sort of there's situations come up all the time, and it's good to know that people are out there thinking about you, that they missed a routine that you did as a normal thing. So I encourage that to everybody. Um, if something seems a little bit off with somebody that you follow, even if it's not somebody that you have close contact with, just reach out and say, "Hey, everything good? Anything I can do?" Just so people know that people are thinking about them. And you wouldn't believe how far that goes with somebody. In my instance, is because I didn't have the internet down. Everything's good with the family and all of that stuff. I just and so, Mary, thank you. I say to you, I'm looking right in the screen. Say, Mary McQueen, thank you. I appreciate you, my friend. Um yeah, and back to the Walnut Show. Um I should be there in time. Should be there this time. Yes. Last year, Glenn had an issue. He was scheduled to go. I think he had the car packed, ready to go. Had a little bit of a family emergency. I think Mama broke her foot or something along those lines, and had to cancel out. But super excited to see Glenn and meet him, because I don't think that we've met face to face. Shook the guy's hand. Yeah, Mom broke her arm. I was a little too low. See, I keep thinking about my foot, right? I keep thinking about feet because of my taxes. And if you weren't here for that, go watch the replay, why my foot hurts from doing my taxes. But yeah, that Whatnot show of showing all those new buyers their personalities and what kind of things they can find with us is a big benefit. Yes. And that's what I take out of it. If somebody looks at, I started to say, if somebody looks at all those numbers, they'll go, "Oh man, they didn't do too well. They only sold 26 items. I sold 26 items in 10 minutes. And if you liken it to a job, I made $600 an hour at that job. And so I'm super excited. I know Jill was a little bummed about, how it went. And I'm just like, no. And it's like, okay, every situation in life is always a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Boy, if I would have made this decision, if I would have made this choice, it might have went this way. If I would have done this or that, we could have set the show up a little bit different and sold 50 items. Or we could have set up that show a little bit different and sold like 10 items. But I'm super excited. Everything's all packaged up. It's all ready to ship out of here. I've already transferred the money to the account. And so I'm saying 100% complete success. Well, no. Overall, Chad, yes. When I say the 600, those are rough numbers. It is less than that. Because I had time to set up the show, to get all of the stuff. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I had all of the stuff that I had to get prepared. I had to get that listed. Then I had to package it all up at the end and stuff like that. So time as a whole, it's not $600 an hour. But even if you cut that in half, which it probably wouldn't be for the setup of the show, and the packing time didn't take me that long because I had multiple buyers. And that was another thing. Of those new buyers that I had, they were multiple people, bought multiple items. So which is great because you have less packages to send out. So even if I cut that in half and I came and I said, hey, you want a job making $300 an hour? You'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. If $100 an hour, maybe if I just factored in the monies and I said I made $100 in 10 minutes or $100 in a whole hour. So yeah, there's always lots of factors, and I don't want to blow smoke or not be transparent when I say I made $600 an hour, which is a common thing with when you see the resellers on the YouTube channels and stuff. You always make the numbers look good, but full transparency, it's not that much with all the setup and the packing. So, but it's still a great return. Let me see, where is that? Yeah, you're never going to beat the foreign food sellers, the people that, they hold up a bag of candy and they can sell 5 at a time. And it's just like, and they're doing 3-second sudden death. They hold it up and they go swipe, 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 swipe. This one, swipe, swipe, swipe. It's their business model. It's their different stuff. Yeah, the person that I was taking on, shout out to Blasian Bunny, who I was taking on in the competition. When we were watching at the beginning, she had already sold 40 items in 2 minutes. In the first 2 minutes of her show, I think she ended up selling a little over 70 items. Great for her, great for the community, great for everybody that sold, whether they sold less than me or more than me. It's a good, fun train to be on. Yes, that's right. Glenn was on the show last year in here saying that he would be here, and then got a call during the show telling that she had broke her arm. That stunk. That's you plan, you're excited, you're ready to go, and then #life. #life happens. Yeah, Jill and I have fun doing the shows on there. I talk fast, and I like to keep the of a normal show. I like to keep the pace of the show going. I like to run an item. I like to talk about it. I like to have fun and be, goofy in between things. But some people are there, they want to buy stuff. Will you hurry up and get to this item that I want you to sell? And other people are there to have fun and be entertained. And I love doing the shows. Jill and I, we go back and forth. Yeah, Jill, she kept saying, I'm not Tracy. I'm not Tracy. I can't do this on the laptop that fast. What is up? Chris, oh, you doing attic trash treasures? Glenn, what is this? What is attic trash treasures? Because I know Chris, Cajun, and Glenn are right in, they're practically in the same neighborhood. I think they live in a duplex, and like Chris lives on the left and Glenn lives on the right. I don't know. I might be off on that. Um it can. What did I list today? Not a thing yet, but can he get stuff done? Oh wait, I can't point to it. If it can he get stuff done is going to be listing stuff um today. Later today, I got lots of stuff to get done. So not on this show. Cause man, look at all the stuff I had to cover. My foot, I have a cold, the internet, my unexpected delivery of my thumbtacks. Oh, I want to talk about another show too that I have coming up. What time? Oh man, we're here over an hour already. Um, it very fast paced, Chris. Very it very nerve wracking. I don't usually right before showtime, even before this show. I get a little bit nervous, jitters. How's it going to go? Whatever. Most of the time, I'm not a nervous person about that stuff. Hey, never miss the opportunity to be the center of attention. You can't be a nervous guy, but that show, because I wanted to represent myself well, because we were a late entrant into the show, the bracket had already been filled up, and Derek reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have a spot left. If you would like it, we would like to have you on." So the attic treasure is a big yard sale this weekend. And Glenn says, yes, it's down the street from me this time. Went Saturday on Friends and Family, found copy paper. Nothing there. Nothing there. Just copy paper at a big community sort of attic sale. But speed record for, yeah, if we weren't treated like second class citizens, we'd have that sell next, sell next, sell next. 15 minutes away from Chris. Okay. How often do you guys see each other? Do you ever hook up and like have lunch or anything like that? Or is it just happenstance at yard sales that you would see one another? Um, yes, Glenn will be there in Nashville and you will get to meet him. Yes, I have seen your house and not the, but Chris, nobody else in the chat knows. They don't know that you guys don't live side by side in the same place. That's fun. It's a giant door sale put on by the Rotary Club. Okay. That's yeah, I got to check the listings. I got to check the listings today, see if there's some yard sales, some church sales, some estate sales, whatever going on this weekend. I need that infusion. Last thing I need is more stuff, but you kind of need that thrill of the hunt of getting out there, seeing being amongst the people. Been cooped up in the house with winter and cold, and just get out there and the fresh air, meet some people, have fun, find some bargains, find some deals. It's always that rush. It's always the hunt and the finding something that's really cool that you're excited about. Chris had seen your death pile room. I like a death pile house. Death pile house, death pile garage, death pile shed next door. Get back into, yeah, need to, you kind of your picking skills diminish over the winter. Is that fair? I don't know if that's true to say that they diminish, but yeah, you have to get back into that mindset again of finding those treasures, making the deals, the negotiations, those skills over the winter. Hopefully you've gain some new knowledge, watching other sellers or watching other things going on, and you want to go, ooh, I don't know that category. I don't know those items or that niche, and I want to learn more. And oh, I saw that guy on a video, and I want to start looking for those. Get your mind, because I always gravitate towards the same things at a yard sale. Things that I know, things that I like to sell, things that interest me. Yeah, Upstate Picker, yes. We Again, I haven't looked. There might be garage sales every day going, and there might be one going on right now because I just really haven't looked because the weather has been so far up and down. We had snow. What day was that, Jill? That we got up and the cars were all covered and the ground had snow, and like the day before it was like 70 degrees. It's like ridiculous. Um Yeah, but everybody will be out picking in Nashville, which is fun to hang out with other sellers. Um, Monday, yeah, it was just Monday. So 2 days ago, we woke up to a bunch of snow. I don't know what it is. That's only like 43 degrees right now out there. The So what else was on my list? Not much. We've been on here for an hour. Oh, probably the last thing that's fun that's coming up is a show that I have on Whatnot. It's called the Excellent Shipper Raid Train, and it is. I had to ship an egg, like a regular egg, out to another Whatnot seller, and see if it will arrive unbroken. Now, the rules state you could ship anything. You ship a plastic egg, you could ship a hard-boiled egg, you could ship whatever. But if you ship an egg that is, just a regular egg, and it arrives there unbroken, undamaged, you get in a drawing with the other sellers that successfully got their egg there. And shout out to Jen's Multiverse, who is hosting this train, just to kind of feature sellers, feature people that she knows that do shipping right. People that are not going to take an egg and put it in like a poly bag and ship it out. And so it's going to be fun. It's a community building thing. I'm not going to be selling anything on that show. It's just going to be fun. That is this Saturday. This Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern on Whatnot is when I'm doing that. And so I shipped my egg Monday. Everybody was supposed to ship them out Monday, and it looks like by tracking it'll get there Thursday. So they just have to treat this package with kid gloves for 2 days. In the challenge, I didn't know how it was going to work. I just looked at the times and I picked. I am getting Brian's egg, Brian from Jack's Treasures, Brian and Tracy, I should say. Their egg will be coming to me at some point this week. And again, I'm going to put it on a golden pillow and just have it sit there away from all the activity that goes on in my house so that I can open this up live on the air. So if you want to see that, it'd be what? It's just a 10-minute show. It's a 10-minute show. So I think Brian and Tracy are on at 4:50 p.m. Eastern time, and they'll be opening up somebody else's egg. Brian, whose egg do you have to open? Then my show at 5:00, where I open Brian's egg, and if you just stay on, we're all raiding into one another. Then we're going to go over to Elise Randoms, and Elise Randoms is going to open my egg, and I think it's going to be fun. I kind of did something a little bit different, and shout out to Jill, who gave me the idea. I had an idea for what I wanted to do and how I wanted to ship it, and Jill said, hey, you should do this, or it would be funny if such and such. And I was like, Brilliant idea. That you weren't supposed to ship it in a poly bag, but if you did, it's fine. It's, you know, I'll have a pan, a little bit of pan with some, melted butter, heat it up on the stove, and we'll crack that bitch and start eating it right there. We'll just pour out the contents into the pan. But that's what I know about that. So this Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, see if my egg got there in good shape. That's it on my list of things I wanted to talk about. Unless you guys got something to talk about, throw it in the chat. If you have something we need to discuss right now, we'll do it. If not, we'll end it up. I'll go package up this other eBay order that came in, and gotta go take that over. I got a couple other errands. I think I gotta go to Menards. I'm going to Menards, just so that Jill can go home with dry feet the next time she's over there. Next time Jill is here, she will have dry feet. A reworker's passion, Leslie. Reworker's passion. That's who. Brian is opening her egg. The poop sock. Okay, what? Here, I'll tell this story. I noticed the other day. Usually in my house, I always have shoes on. Okay, except when I'm in bed. When I'm in bed, I usually always have shoes on. I noticed the other day. It was like in the middle of the night or whatever, and I got up and had to go to the bathroom. Well, I noticed that the floor was wet, or the rug that's like, I have rug around the toilet and to the right by the sink. The rug was a little damp, and I'm trying to. It's like, oh wait, what's that? And so the next morning, then I checked it out, and I think the seal on my toilet, it must be worn out, old, whatever. And so it'll seep a little bit of water from under there. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to go out to Menards yet and get a new seal and replace that. But it's, yeah, there we go. Wax ring. The wax ring is bad. And that's, at least I believe that's what it is. And but it's just like a little bit of, well, when Jill was over yesterday, and normally she would have her shoes on in the house. I'm not one of these take the shoes off at the door kind of guys. It's like, yeah, wipe your feet. I got rugs inside the doors. Wipe your feet, and, enjoy your stay. I'm not gonna make you walk around in your bare feet. But Jill did take her shoes off at one point in the middle of the night, and I think it was probably a little bit extra damp because normally it's just me here. And so, I use the restroom, whatever. And I haven't noticed it over the last few days being as damp. But when Jill's, now you got two people here that are, flushing the toilet and stuff. And so the rug was a little bit wetter, more wetter. Is that right? More wetter. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that you went to the bathroom that time and you didn't have your shoes on. You're just walking around in your socks. And so then she's like, oh no. I hear her from the bathroom. This is right when I'm getting ready to start the show. She's like, oh no. I'm like, wait, what's wrong? Anytime somebody yells, oh no, from the bathroom, there's either a problem or they just took the most enormous dump ever. And they're like, oh no, did that all come? But one of those kind of dumps where you want to get your phone out, take a picture, and share it with your friends. I am dumb, I know. But she's like, "Oh no." And I'm trying to start, and she's like, "My sock is wet." And I left the seat up. Yeah, no, it wasn't the wetness on the carpet didn't come from me. Uh yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, the oh no's can also come from they sat down without paying attention. How is that my fault? It's my house. I'm the only one here. I'm gonna leave the toilet seat up when I'm done, just because most likely I'm gonna have to pee again before I have to do anything else. Um, crack me up, Angie. Um, so anyway, so her sock was wet, and she kept saying that she had a poop sock. It's like, no, there's no poop on the floor right there. You're ridiculous. But I got to go to Menards, get a new wax ring, and work at that as well. Um, wash the rugs that are in there. Um, yeah, Jill almost she has a low tolerance for she has a low tolerance for poop on her feet. I think, which most people probably do. Um, Glenn, have a great afternoon. Good luck at those sales, at the attic sale from the local Rotary Club. Hope you find a bunch. And Jen Jill burned her socks. Yeah, Jill, I wish you wouldn't have done that right in my living room, though. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that smell out for a little while, and it's too cold right now to open the windows. So, um, I know, isn't it though, Brian? Isn't it though? I'm going to end. I'm going to end right now, and I'm going to call Jill as soon as I'm done here, and I'm going to eat some lunch, and I'm going to package this up, and I'm going to go to deliver these packages, go to Menards, um, and all of that stuff that I have to do. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, good productive day, going into the weekend here, hump day on a Wednesday. And that's it. I'll catch you all next week on 10 versus 10. See ya.